Peace. All right, we are on. I'm going to be here until 8 o'clock, so I'll be here about an hour and 20 minutes. All right. Um, any questions that you have about anything? You know, want to keep it till. Let's see what you want to know about. You know what I mean? I missed last week's class. I had to cancel. I had a funeral that I had to go to. Um, but it was mainly positive because it was also my daughter's born day the last week. So you know that was the main focus. All right. So emails that people are owed. That an emailing me. I sent them back. Um, yeah. Peace to the guy King Kamal, man. Appreciate you, God. You already know. Oh man. So yo, let me know what you have. I think my voice is a little hoarse. I've been dealing with kids all day. you know. So they good kids, but they are rambunctious. Um, so my voice has been tested. No, you know what's crazy is that it's just a lot of kids. So if I have to talk, I have to talk loud. If they get rambunctious, and I also, while we was getting them back home and stuff, I had to take care of other kids that weren't in my class. So I had to go back and forth. And I'm just realizing now that I had to keep a loud voice. So it's not really yelling; it's just speaking loud enough that they all hear. You know, even if you scold them, like I don't yell at kids when I scold them. Like I don't yell at them. You know what I mean? Like yell. I don't do that. You know what I mean? But speaking firmly for hours though is a task too. Yeah. Um, Overall, good day. You know. But a lot of people want to just deal with the most obvious stuff, dealing with this nation. People deal with like the day that the nation started. Firstborn Prince met Allah, started building with Allah. At this point, some people will say that this is the start of the nation. Others say it's October. What is it? 7th. Um, if you want to date the nation when the first of the firstborn came, that would be the most accurate if you were doing it like that. The first of the firstborn. So I don't think it would be firstborn prince. I just don't think that makes sense logically. Um, but really, yeah, when he starts teaching, and he has amassed students officially. So these are proper dates, if you want to use October 3rd. Um, it doesn't have to be that religious. The real point of it, though, is that this nation begins when not only he decides to teach this and decides to be himself, Allah, decide a way to teach it and to whom to teach it, still no nation, only when the nation gathers, and he has a distinct thought to gather and build this group that would be organized to share the truth. Only then, in my understanding, do we have it. And we have it when that happens, So in general, if you never want to be wrong, which I always say October 64. You know, and if you know, like it isn't easy. It isn't easy because excuse me. We look at things so like he did everything so amazingly, but it certainly was with great effort to begin teaching, leaving the temple at 1963, and in the span of about a year, to think about how he's going to build, how he's going to share, who he's going to share with, if it's even suitable to share with anybody, like will anybody even understand this? You know, these are things that I'm sure in varying levels all go through his mind. And so it's all important. Um, I just think that to have it solidified by October 64, I mean, it's just amazing. You know, it's just amazing. You know, you see, the charismatic can get people to listen to you. You know, the charismatic can get them people to listen to them. People with an ability to orate content, like real worth, will get people to listen to them. But in this, you had to get young students to succumb and say, okay, I'm not going to do what I was doing before. At least try my best not to do it where it doesn't define me, and actually get it across to everybody. That's unbelievably hard. I think that what he accomplished amazes me every time I think about it. I think that these kids had no reason to continue to follow him. And mind you, they followed him because they didn't know, so they had to, they had to be led by their teacher. And I just find it absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. Excuse me a moment. I'm just checking things on my phone. King, you said today's math is knowledge out of cipher, all being born in knowledge. The foundation of our completion begins with us and will always come back to us being responsible for its strength or weakness. This is an understanding that one could think of, you know what I mean? When we deal with the 10th day, like what have we done? What are we doing this month? How have we navigated this month a little sharper than last month? I want you to have an awareness of your time. You know, all things exist because of time and space allotted to it. We are the ones that create in this template of time and space that we created. We make it exist. And by making it exist, the best way to use it is to have a mastery of what you have done, what you have done with the time. So it's crucial. It's very crucial, you know. All right. So, any questions that anyone has? Definitely an understanding to memorize, to get. Again, it's been a week since I've been away. Want to hear what you have to build on? How have we started the month? King, you said our reward of justice is us still being whole within ourselves after applying the degrees to our life and then playing out as they are supposed to when lived out correctly. Just for clarification, what do you mean by being whole? Okay, these are things that you want to take out of the abstract. It makes sense, but we want to be very clear what we mean by being whole. What is being whole, right? Um, Applying the degrees to our life and then playing out as they supposed to when lived out correctly. Also we want to see what that means by living out our degrees. What is living out our degrees? There's a very difficult concept because the degrees are filled with negativity. So how does one live out negativity, right? So we have to already see that many of the times that we live out live out the degrees, we're living out principles in what is called often a reverse polarity. You know, um, I don't want to use reverse polarity as the only term because sometimes people think of it as like we just do the opposite of what it says. I don't know if that doesn't always work. So no, you know what I mean? Peace, Malik. Peace, God. Likewise, God. All right. So assignments you can do. You should be writing in your journal how you see today's math, and as the months go by, comparing it. Which days get skipped? Which days are weak? Which days are strong? Right? When we say live out your degrees, what does that mean? It says the original man is God, right? The maker, the owner. How are we gonna? And I'm taking the first degree. How is someone living out the degrees by saying maker, owner? And mind you, this is the easy degrees to do because they're a direct relation. So you just kind of live out, meaning do as it says. Maker. Most people feel like they can own things, but they don't know what they make. What is it that we make? Like, what is it that we make? How do we own that? Right? King, you said being complete with ourselves is us applying the knowledge through actions and gaining the understanding or mental clarity that nobody is responsible for your growth but yourself. Nobody's responsible for your growth but yourself. It's certainly the revelation that is consistent throughout our lives because the requisite to having this knowledge is we don't deal with a mystery God and we don't bear witness to any mysterious being, energy, or force that controls our reality. Right? Now, you know, the idea of completeness means that all of the degrees mean something to you. Knowledge to born, they all mean something to you. It means that with every endeavor that you engage in and that you focus more time and awareness to, that you will see all of supreme mathematics individually through it and collectively through it as a contiguous force that you extend. right? Or contiguous flow, I should say. I don't want to say force because then you just get confused with power, and that's only 1 degree, right? But remember that the joy of being us is that we are constantly incomplete. We can make ourselves incomplete learning something. We can make ourselves complete by creating. We create anew. The idea causes an incompleteness. It must be fulfilled, born. It must be made born. So when we think in this manner, things have to be born. Um, and yet they are not. They are just the idea, that original idea, that knowledge, that awareness of it. If we're always building, we are very comfortable in almost always being in a state of incompleteness. And so it is not just being complete, but always being to born complete, being to born things completely. Think on these things for a little bit. I like to give Malik short answers. Malik, you've asked this question many times. Prescribed laws. Um, the elders that saw all this, the elders that understood mathematics, the elders that knew that the only way to deal with all this, though, was this reality. Right? Thank you, God. You know, she's athletic, but she's more of a dancer. You know, definitely more of a dancer. That's what she loves to do. Oh, wonderful. Oh, wonderful. No, it's Peace Code. Yeah. My children are, they ever become a lot of things, you know? It's really, it's really a joy to see. It's really a joy. So, no, I said they're becoming a lot of things. It's really a wonderful thing to see, you know, all the things that they are becoming. And it's all peace, you know, because she loves dancing, she loves acting, um, she loves singing. She certainly can songwrite, you know, so many things. But the prescribed laws, you know, you said who prescribed the laws. You know, I think the terminology is a little skewed though, because there are real consequences to not teaching the truth to others. And so when you say prescribed laws, though, it's just, well, the laws are just a recognition of the reality. When the law is written, it's just a recognition of reality. Life is not bended to make the rule real, right? Life is bended to make the rule real. Life is acknowledged, right? Life is acknowledged to see the law that already exists around us. And articulating that law ends up being prescribed. Because if you're not teaching, what happens though, right? Right? Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 18, right? So the punishments of all things, you know what I mean? They already have, you know? They would happen mathematically. What happens in reality when teaching is not done? Okay. Let me know if that makes sense, though. I feel like there might be more counter questions or for clarification. Anybody today is open to questions. Knowledge add on a cipher. Cipher shows and proves the infinity of this mathematics. Knowledge is the idea that truth is ever recognized. The deeper and deeper that we live that any and all truths out, more and more truths will be recognized. More and more truths will be fulfilled. And because all of it is based on the reality of the creators creating creation, creation continuously being made promotes um, the reality of knowledge being an idea of awareness, right? Awareness of creativity, an awareness of self movement, an awareness of self concept, self worth, self identity, and it is extended outwardly in the way that we create. But hope that makes sense. Let's see. Long day, man. This is a long day. In the lesson, it says the hot Arabian what? No, you did, God. No, you did, God. Stop it, God. You gonna make me start recording, you God. You gonna make me stop. God, you gonna make me start recording. Nah, see, now you doing it on purpose, God. Now you doing it on purpose, God. God. See, this is, yeah, you trolling, God. Now you trolling. Surely the expression of knowledge becomes wisdom, right? But the awareness of it, the spark of an idea of creativity, these are all in the realm of knowledge. And it's us that make them real. Peace of God ain't mega, man. Okay. Here we go. Think of it. Remember, thoughts, the thought. The thought is the knowledge, right? How is the thought seen, right? How does one become aware of things? You see? This is why supreme mathematics is such a immense the tool. Not just an immense one or it's the tool. Because there has to be some kind of an awareness for knowledge itself within the individual. Okay? When that knowledge is expressed, we're already going into the concepts of wisdom. Okay? Where now that knowledge is being focused on this, it has been decided of an infinite reservoir of endless knowledge A particular knowledge has been focused upon, then extended. Once it's delved into, we start to get into wisdom. All right, all right, all right. Right. Okay, that's good, Millie. That's good. I was just saying that it could sound like wisdom. The more that we talk about knowledge, the mathematics is not, they're not really separate. It's really us that separate them. By separating not, the mathematics, we're only doing this. And then if we're focusing on knowledge, we're doing this. Right? That's all we're doing. Focusing on wisdom. Right? Power. That's all we're doing. But in reality, it's like this. It's continuous. Supreme mathematics. It's continuous. So people like King Kamal, they have their 120 lessons. One of the things I always think about, and I was thinking about this in a good way because of King Kamal's understandings he shared with me lately. The way to know if you have, to me, this is my understanding, if this 120 is of any validity to you, is that you're not just at the simple or work for level. I'm gonna not say simple. I'm gonna say a very basic but busy work level of seeing all that is wrong about the world identified through 120 lessons in your daily life. That means that you use it. That means it is daily, though, but it also means that oftentimes the understanding that you have will be very rudimentary, very basic, and you put me to sleep. Because it's just it's correct. Maybe it's right and exact, but it's boring. It doesn't have any unique you in it, and so why hear something that the world already has? Why go through all this and share an insight that the world already has? It isn't a greater insight because you have it. It isn't a greater insight because I have it. It is because we have a unique insight. This is what we should clamor for. We should work for. And when you have 120 lessons, you want to see if you're able to see your flaws ahead of time, to see the possibilities of entrapment, of elevation as you're about to do things, not having just done them, and seeing what are the pitfalls that you run into, identifying yourselves, not clichéing ourselves, but identifying ourselves in a way that says, is this the way that I should go, or the way that it should be, But yeah, man. Thank you, King, man. Yeah, this is I forgot how long I had this sweater. So I had this sweater a long time. It got the nice um, it got the nice ribs. striped blue, yellow, ribbing and stuff too. So kind of matches though. And I got like the duffel bag matching. You know what I'm saying? Like let me see if I get it in here. See the duffel bag. See that? See the duffel bag. But anyway, that was neither here nor there. I did not do that on purpose though when I got the duffel bag. You know, but it works. You know, but but the striping is burgundy, yellow burgundy, whereas the stripes here are navy, yellow, yellow blue. It's burgundy, yellow, burgundy, while the bag is navy. So it's cross matching. It's crazy. But and again, people talk, but I didn't even tell you how much this sweater cost me because it was not what people think. You know what I mean? But the important things, okay, important things, right? We want to see how supreme mathematics, and we learn practice building on supreme mathematics as a whole unit, but also practice building as a separate unit by the activity of today's mathematics. Okay. Um, that's right, Malik. We break up our principles individually. That song is deep. Did you just drop King? Come on. Yes, it is, man. I'll tell you something, man. I really think that, and I understand it. My work is really to write about other artists. It's always been that. And when I write about myself, the people that respect me most are not the ones that will are really going to spend their time doing promo for others or that much. They really have to just spend all their time doing it for themselves, and I don't get mad about that. Because it's mostly I find that it's mostly the MC world that really appreciates the music that I make. Um, but there's no excuse for not seeing the greatness that King Kamal has been working on here. You know, let's see what I had it saved here too. Like, so I was hearing it on repeat when I was traveling Tuesday. Yeah, dear whomever in season finale. Fire, fire shit. Soulful, soulful. Thank you, 793rd. Thank you. Yeah, that's my little one there. And you know what? My both my daughters have born days very close. My oldest is August 30th, and then my youngest is October 2nd. So the end of October, then in the beginning of the end of August, then the beginning of October. So just 1 September between their birthdays, you know. But like you said, I see how you say nouns will always be wrong as we express it. Yet it's a teaching tool to stay sharp. Not not that it always would be wrong. Peace, God. That it always would be wrong. That's not really what I'm saying though, but that it would be um it really wouldn't never really be wrong if it's knowledge. Knowledge can never be wrong. Okay? Knowledge can only be stagnant. Now let's be clear about that. Knowledge can never be wrong. Knowledge can only be stagnant. So if we separate and then it's that stays stuck at one, now we have a problem. Okay? So that's really the major issue that we always have, you know. Um, I'm not saying that it's just like the 5%. It's just really hard now. Like I um I think I bug out, because I know that I made like something very, very powerful that is very concentrated. Like, but at the same time, like covering all these artists, all this music. I also know that people often get stuck on certain types of music they like. We always cry about having a better music, right? This is what people cry about having a better music, especially in hip hop. But they end up. Give me a moment here. People always say with music, and that's what I've learned all these years about music and listenership with music. People, and especially in hip hop, and I've seen it broad based in other genres and other ciphers. They they argue for a music that is not commercial and diluted. Right, that's one, and they argue for a music that is unique, challenging, and original. Right, so let's say lyrics deeper, thought process longer, meaning you have to rewind not just to enjoy the technicalities. He rhymes fast, nice flow, soulful, right? You want to feel it again, but also to actually get what he was saying, though, and to really see how it all worked, and right, the understanding, the knowledge that was dropped, whatever it was, right, the information. People say they clamor for that, or they clamor for something that is not what they clamor for, and what they want not, right? Excuse me. And when you look at when you look at what really gets played and invested in, it's really all lip service. So it's really 85 people that buy most records, because that's the populace. It's most of the populace, right? And they either buy something that is still commercial diluted because they want to feel whole, they want to feel part of something, and so the latest trends is what it is. And but they don't want to admit that, though, when it's not. It's embarrassing to say that, but a lot of times they revel in it when they get to sing along to the same crap, you know but it's only when you challenge them individually that they say, no, I like to have unique things. But you listen to the same shit that everybody else listens to. You're in Miami and you listen to Pitbull. You know what I mean? You're here and you listen to, I don't know, insert whack stuff. But people that usually say that they dig deeper for more deeper music, what they end up peace God, what they end up dealing with is um, something a lot more basic. So if it's hip hop, they end up dealing with more with basic. They're still, it's still just battle bars, you know. Like this is, I give you a great example. Um, a lot of Griselda is, it's good music. Griselda, like, music is good, and they're clever with the crime rhymes, right? Whatever, right? But it's hardly it's not even close to being the top of content or originality. It's very retro, repeating. But that got compared to having the vibe of Wu Tang, and none of the lyrics are even close to having any of the depth that if we took a broad brush stroke and said, let's cut out all the lyrics that just deal with crime, rhyme, cocaine, crack dealer storylines, and the fallout of drugs, prostitute, and killing that comes along with that, right? Drug use, prostitution, women degradement, etc., degrading, degradation, um, and all the other things that happen in the streets of the ghetto that go along with that. That pretty much eliminates all their lyrics. So it's not Wu-Tang. And yet it's a simplified drum and guys that are rhyming emphatically, and it easily swoops in as if it's Wu-Tang. So people ask for something different, and when they get it, they don't really care for it. So I was kind of prepared for that, along with King Kamal preparing me for this, though. That people don't really care to listen to all that. They say they want to, but when they get something that absolutely is never before done, they're not there for it. Like, they're not there for it. They want it to be. They don't want to be the pioneer listener. You know, they don't want to be the pioneer listener like they say they do. Like, it used to be a thing, man. I used to be the first on the block with certain songs. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what people are about now. In the underground or in the commercial sphere. But I'm just saying that. Say this. Support King Come On. Give him a ton of listens. You know what I mean? You know, buy the single. If you have the money. You know what I mean? Like, I know people don't always have the money, but buy the single. It's an amazing song. You know what I mean? You know, and I say that too because King Kamal helped me make something that doesn't exist in hip hop. I made a Warrior album, and those don't exist in hip hop, especially from someone that really is fighting out here. I fight here physically and mentally and vocally as a teacher here and abroad. Like, the lyrics were really real. Like, they're really real. Like, no matter if it never gets listened to, I really live the lyrics daily. Like, I really did everything that's in the songs. You know what I mean? And it's stuff that other people that say that they've shot people, killed people, sold this many drugs, made this much money, they would never dare to even try to do what I was doing. And I don't mean rap the lyrics. I mean actually do what I was doing in the lyrics. They wouldn't. And I know that. I know that for a fact. You know, I know drug dealers out there that had knowledge of self and they couldn't do what I was doing. They wouldn't do what I was doing. So that's what it is. And I gave a book to it too. And I think that just me personally, I think the book is really as long standing as the album. You know. So we give these things of worth though, and it's very saturated. There's so much good music. I don't even talk about the bad music. There's so much good music. There's so little bad music, but so many people listening to so little bad music. It never fails. All that has changed is that there's way more good music. So on that level, I don't get too mad too. You know what I mean? When people have specific things that they look for in genres, it's far more limiting than what you would think. Like, um, when I was younger, for example, it's not for me now. I can't use me as an example today because I became a journalist, so I listen to music as work. So when I'm not working, I am usually not listening to hip hop. You know what I mean? It is different. You know what I'm saying? Um, because it's a continuous work. You know, I gotta keep. I really, honestly, I really only listen to my stuff and can't come on. You know, when I train other students, I play hip hop because I want to share the people that I got love for and that I know, so that they can know all the artists that I'm putting them onto. Many of them that I know personally, and so they can hear it though. But if I listen to music, I'm not listening to that because it ends up being work. I'm going to hear things, do things. But it's a thing about what we support. It extends to the way we deal with this nation, how we support this nation. What are we doing? It should be much more easier for people to realize that they have knowledge of self and have talents, and then develop some kind of course or some kind of forum here for the youth to engage in what they have learned, right? And it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's not just music. I'm just trying to extend it, all the way. You know what I mean? If you love trends and stuff, people just listen to. They make everything becomes a comfort music. They don't really challenge themselves. Like for me, television film is a comfort thing. So sometimes I'll challenge myself, but that's only because my brother has such a large catalog for me to challenge myself, and I respect the art so much that he's taught me about acting and film that I deliberately challenge myself and watch different things. But if it wasn't for him, I would just watch comfort stuff. Because if you leave me alone, I'll just watch old sitcoms like all day, like like and kung fu movies and you know. Just, but Malik, you said, "Gee, your books are so comprehensive, in depth, yet you're only charging a mini amount to receive what to me is priceless. So I don't get the lack of specialty from our own nation." Um, like I told Inf Mega when we do videos and stuff, I don't really get support from people in the nation, and that's notwithstanding people like you or King. Malik, you really support and you go above and beyond supporting. It's I'm so thankful, but I don't know, but I don't think it's me. I find that in our nation we don't support our own artists. It's like, do they get punished because they're not commercial? And I get frustrated too because like there's something I talked to with the Bad Seeds, great MC. Like, why do we have to go around continually just supporting um Wu-Tang or something, or just Nas or Common, all people who make great records, music still now, no matter how religious and using our 5% dialect that Common is, right? But it's still absolute music. Like if you bought the Common Pete Rock, or you bought um I'm not gonna say LL Cool J because I still don't think that was a great record. It was different, so it's worth buying for its differentness. But I didn't, it's not I didn't care for it personally, you know. Um, or Public Enemy because they keep making records. They made Chuck D made albums last year and all that, and they were good. Let's say you buy those guys like that, Nas and stuff, right? And there's a lot of other guys. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other guys that you could buy that are doing it since the '90s, and you follow them, right? But let's say you buy, these are people that they might have been your score soundtracks for when you were dealing with this knowledge and you always like it and shit. But there's gods now that actually are God, and you don't buy it, like, or you don't at least say, let me listen to this though, see what they're doing here. You know what I mean? Because if hip hop is based on listening to stuff that's relatable, these people are going to relate to me. You know what I mean? Right? The King Kamals, Estinak, Planet Asia, three very, very, very different MCs. Back with Sweetie, right? The Earth, like it should be a no-brainer though. You know what I mean? Like you've got the stuff on streaming though. Like go stream it to see it, like study it. That it's gonna be more profound though because we know more, and it's gonna relate to your life, in some way. At the very least, it's gonna honor a lot of your life. If you're 5% supporting other 5%ers music, you know what I mean? There's so many, right? Right? There's a lot, you know. There's some that are more abstract with it, some that you don't even know. Sometimes they rhyme savage, like Esti, abstract with it, like Ras Fresco, with the builds in it. Others like I think his name is Mr. Atlas, who's very 120 straight up in the bars, so more overt. Others more soulful, like King Kamal, right? Dexterous, like King Kamal, right? So yeah, Stretch and Bobbito actually was Friday morning, Thursday night, Friday morning, right? Because you're staying up Thursday night. Yeah, so it is Friday morning, but it's Friday, but it's really Thursday night, you know. But King, you said MFers need to buy Sunez books monthly and purchasing his album. In my opinion, he worked hard on these things, and I don't like the lack of support he gets. Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you this though: many people bought the book, and I gave them the album. I told you I gave the album free. Very few people, almost no one, bought the album straight up for me. Almost no one. I almost got no sales off the album by itself. You know what I mean? And when I put it on streaming, I got a lot of people telling me really great things about it. Like not just like, hey, great album. No, I mean like they really listened to it. Whereas when the album came out and it was on Bandcamp only, I got a lot of congratulations for an album. And I was like, yeah, I don't need congratulations for having like that, like it's my baby. You know, like get me some diapers. You know what I mean? Like don't just congratulate me on a new baby. You know what I mean? Like, you know? But in the end, no, I really enjoy and at the very least want people to listen to it. You know, you said people are overdoing that Griselda sound these days. Most of these guys are starting to sound like angry over the hill drug dealers who drive school buses now. It really is though. It's really hard. Like you know, it's been almost over 10 years reviewing their records, and it gets a little tiring hearing the same shtick. It's definitely a shtick. You know, you know, it's on them. It's not on me. I don't. That's what they want to do. You know. Yeah, I talk about the plug over dirty loops. Yeah, you know, so many things to talk about. You know what I mean? But well, like you said, contact with Nation because reading the inside of the cassette jacket and getting a shout out to Nation Islam. He said the 5% Nation of Islam. I was always intrigued by that. Yeah, yeah. 1 to 5, yeah. He's double O set. Yeah. That's how I used to make my pause tapes. Though. I would two 2 hour cassettes. That's 4 hours, right? Two 2 hour cassettes, 1 hour on each side, 4 sides. And I would record the whole show, and then I would place it. I had a dual cassette deck, and then I would place the songs I wanted, and then overlap them perfectly, so the mix would sound like it was really DJ. Some people actually would get fooled. They're like, nah, it's just a pause tape. But a lot of people, even back then, people, not everybody knew hip hop like that, like people think. So they didn't know what a pause tape was. But you could make a pause tape seamless, you know. And I made my pause tape seamless. But anyway, knowledge add on a cipher, right? Knowledge add on a cipher, right? In the supreme alphabet, justice. We talk about justice though, but justice is the ability to get to knowledge add on a cipher, the ability to go with knowledge and take it through an entire process and get to a point where more knowledge is added onto it. If you were able to repeat this cycle, then there has been some justice that has been, laid out. The reward for life is just more life. The reward for learning and creating is the ability to create even more, And sometimes that simplicity, people don't always see the joy in that, the absolute joy in that. So I just want you to link that up real quick. Yeah, I used to have a lot of fun. There's so many great albums I remember hearing on Stretch and Bob. I remember first hearing OC's Time's Up. That was very memorable. Criminology, Raekwon's Criminology. I remember first hearing that. Like some incredible songs. First time I heard it there. Hey, MF Doom. Scooby Doo sample from classic song Hey from Doomsday album. After that, I was like, who is this guy? I gotta get everything. You know? Yeah, we are. I think Public Enemy albums. I know for sure. Fear of a Black Planet. They had the lyrics inside. Yeah, they had the lyrics. Gangstar's Daily Operation. Goody Mob, Soul Food. I think Lauryn Hill's Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Those albums I remember. They all had lyrics in it. Yeah. Other groups too that were unknown too. Yeah. But anyway, any questions about anything in the lessons? Yeah, golden era, golden era. That whole thing of putting lyrics, your lyrics, printing them in the album. It's kind of why I like sharing the lyrics to what I've written. I really enjoy doing it. All right. The Father put it there. The Father put the bud in there. Um, as far as Born Prince told me, a lot of the gods they gave him a lot of excuses, and they would always say but, and so the Father retorted. He said, "But brings rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes." There was this way of saying like, "Yo, you guys, you guys, you guys are giving me excuses though. I thought you was the gods. Like, but brings rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. You know what I mean? So that's really how it got in there. You know what I mean? I mean, the cleverest, the cleverest. King, you said, I'm being humble, guys. Some of his cats ain't seen us if we compare our solo and group material. We drop a cappella only, it would sound better. Man, I ain't gonna disagree with that. I ain't gonna disagree with that. You know, I had some bars, man. Still making some real fun. I think the one I'm making now is real fun. The one that me and Kamal is gonna make is gonna be great. You know, because in the end, though, as long as we could afford it and technology makes it more affordable, and the graces of good people that I work with, like King Kamal and True Cipher, I'm able to afford it and make the music, and really enjoy it, you know. So let me know if you have any builds. I'm gonna be here till 8 o'clock, so I'll be about 20 minutes more, you know. As we go along, though, because I'm here for a select time during the school season, the school season especially. I really need to get rest and get all this other work done. Um, I'm gonna have very specific things I'm gonna build with. So the class structure going on isn't just gonna be me waiting for questions. I'm gonna expect them, but at least the first half hour, I'm gonna really dig into something. Okay, so that class are gonna get on here. The first half hour of about an hour and a half, give or take, right? Because I get here around 6:20 or something, and I get ready here. I got here much earlier, but around that time is when I expect to get here. Get here on here at least by 6:30 ish. So I'm gonna give you like an hour plus. I want to give everybody a half hour of something really in depth to go through of my choice, because I'm not gonna wait for it. And then as I go along, whatever stuff you wanted to add on to it or ask about different things, then we'll go into that. You know what I mean? Then we'll go into that. So no matter what, every week it'll be a little bit shorter, but it'll be very, very concentrated in depth, and something necessary and useful that we could really use, So that's going to be the format as we go along. Today I'm just I thought I could get into some more questions and stuff because I wasn't here last week. Again, I had to attend a funeral. I was able to, able to send my condolences and deal with that. And also, celebrate my daughter's born day. You know what I mean? But with my kids, I celebrate them all the time. They have their birthdays, but I celebrate them all the time. I don't need a birthday to only do it then. I keep doing it. So it's like, that's peace. That's peace. So anytime, if there's anything that you want to build about, anything that you want to build on in depth, and you're not watching the class live, just write it in the comments here or email me sunez97@gmail.com. Either or, but engage, because there are things that you need, things that I've shared. But that's going to be the format. There's going to be a long build about something detailed that I think is worthwhile, and then we'll extend it to everything else. Peace to God.
Peace.
Right? And then we'll do it like that. You know what I mean? That way it'll be a shorter block, but it'll be just real concentrated supremacy stuff. It just gets record scale, caress attack. Boom. Yeah, man. Yo, I try to write these reviews and give detail, and sometimes I listen to try to quote some, and I'm like, yo, their lyrics, they often like with the West Side Gun and Conway and what's the other guy? I'm forgetting his name. Benny the Butcher. It's like I could predict their lyrics though when they're rhyming. You know what I mean? I mean, there was, sometimes I wonder if they were so rich though, why are they even bothering to rap and tell us about it? You just ride off into the sunset. But that's what's going. That's what's going. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, let me know. Right? By the way, I'm pretty sure I'm caught up with every single email. So if you emailed me and you didn't get an answer today, that means I missed it. So just forward it back to me. It should be at the top of the pile. So I'm pretty sure I got everybody. certainly, as we reach the end of the year, we're gonna have an in-depth lesson about planning and all that. I have a plus lesson on that too. That's peace, guy. So let's see here. We have, just gonna do a quick count of the weeks we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11 weeks. So that's a lot of time to get some distinct lessons. May I get some fish here?
Yeah. You charging the phone?
No, I'm good, guy. Yeah.
Who's this? Is yours?
It's mine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to test something real quick. I'm almost ready for that master lesson.
Oh, the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was okay. Just making sure it was working. It appears to be all right. It's all right. You heard me? It's all right. Hold that.
We talked about all that, LT. Whose idea was this, guys? Whose idea was this?
Joachim, the fish in the pond, they got to come out because the pond is going to freeze over. So, still need a stand and a filter and a top.
Yeah, right, because you got to be able to change the water a lot.
Filter will help maintain the ecosystem, so we just have to change the filter, and the top will help with evaporation and stuff getting into the water, and the stand will help it stay level.
All right. Yeah, so as we go through these last 11 sessions of the year, I'm going to focus on a lot of plus lessons that I've been sharing, how we could use them. Find application of them. And yes, I'm going to start again, as I catch up with some of my projects, then I'm going to really start digging into the writing, writing. What was I going to call them? Basically, like these supplemental plus lessons or insights to the sets in 120. You know, like I did with the 1 to 36. I'll be doing that for the other sets. Getting some things down, making some research notes. They'll be in that format, you know, not really telling you what the degree is or what's the understanding to be, just giving research notes. I think writing them as notes is going to be the best way to catapult everyone, as opposed to just hold. I don't want to be holding anyone's hand though, where they're just quoting it. That's right, Lord Takim. You're another one that makes music. You know, I mentioned some before. You know what I mean? But there's a lot. There's a lot of people. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people. You know, I read about it all the time, and there's more people making music. You know what I mean? And certainly a lot of progressive music that is insightful, right? I mean, the great Ka is always releasing stuff. His latest album is incredible as always. You know, if you're gonna listen to drug rap, might as well listen to something more better done, at least skillfully, like Rome Streets. You know, who I think is does it in a very skillful way. You know. Anyway, it's a trove, like an immense amount of guys, and of course 5% that make music. But listen, unless anybody has any questions, I'm gonna leave it with that. I'm gonna go through distinct things in the beginning. Hopefully, I can get your conversation, thought processes, uh, anything about all the other stuff, right? But that's how we're gonna start all the classes. I'll just give like a a quick lecture about certain things, and then as your questions and as your builds on the day's math and builds and degrees in 120, as they add up, then I will, we'll go more into them. All right. So I am going to let everybody go since it's quiet in here. I've given the plan out. A lot of end of year stuff, a lot of stuff to catapult you, a lot of stuff to get your research and work better, a lot of stuff to help you find your true talents. This is a very important part of the class curriculum that I don't mention overtly a lot, but my goal really is with a student, especially when they're with me here, is to engage in their talents, and find them. And I think that's something that we don't do. And it doesn't have to be something that you're exceptional at. It doesn't have to be something that you truly express yourself creatively with. And that could be music, that could be poetry, it could be anything else. It could be a whole bunch of things, right? So with that said, I'm going to let everybody go. Until next week, contact me, build with me. If I didn't answer your emails, particularly, send them to the top. If you haven't built with me in a while, build with me. All right? Peace.
I'm new.